Hey there guys, how's it going, and welcome to a brand new Ark Survival Evolved video. In this video I want to look at Aberration dinos and how useful they're going to be in PvP and raiding. How are they going to affect the meta? Now I've actually been really enjoying Aberration recently, but I'm not really sure how well these things are going to do once you bring them back to the regular servers to do raids against the regular kind of tribes and setups that you would see on the maps like Ragnarok, Center and the island. And there was a few questions that I had that I didn't have answers to, that I'd rather find out in the private match than doing them on official. So I did some research, and you here are going to see the results of my research. Some very interesting stuff here, some stuff I didn't expect. I should know the results of most of what happens today, but you never know, some different things might happen. So let me show you the setup I've got over here. All I've done is I've just thrown down a few turrets. All I'm looking to do here is a little bit of experimenting with these dinos that you see over here, the Aberration dinos, not only in terms of how useful can they be for draining turrets, but will you get a shot off the back of these things while using them. I've just switched it to earlier in the day so you guys can see a little better. Now I am going to have to leave the tribe so these turrets will shoot me. These turrets are currently set to my tribe. I've got tribe structures on tribe owned, and now when I leave the tribe they will now shoot me when I leave. Now you can't, unfortunately, someone being attacked there. You can't unfortunately unclaim and claim a Reaper King by a different person, so I'm just gonna have to force give that to myself with admin commands. But we've got two Reapers here. Basically we've got two because I wanted to show you one that had roughly the health of what you would expect to get. This Reaper here, I've put this up to about 50k health, and we've got a Reaper on our Aberration server at the moment which is on about 50k health. You could probably get them up to 60 or 70, so I wanted to have one that had the right amount of health there. I can't remember what I'm doing with the other one, to be honest. Completely blown my mind. Anyway, let's get on with it. We've got the Basilisk, we've got the Crab, we've got the Rock Drake. Are these going to be useful for draining turrets? So let's just get on with it, because I think I'm waffling a bit more much at the moment. So I need to leave this tribe, kick myself from the tribe even, or leave the tribe. Bada boom, bada bam. Gonna make a new tribe. Beautiful. And now we're going to claim these dinos. So the Basilisk, the Crab, the Rock Drake, and we're going to have to do a bit of a cheat gift to me for the Reaper King. Reaper looking pretty badass there. So the first thing I wanted the answer to the question of, or the first question I wanted answered even, was will turrets shoot a Basilisk if it's under the ground? I already know the answer to this because I did it earlier, and it's quite interesting. So if I press spacebar here, go under the ground, you will see that the turrets will not shoot me while I am under the ground. That is pretty damn cool. Now as soon as I pop up here, the turrets are going to start shooting me, and I already know from my research that the Basilisk is not good for draining turrets that are on players only. I'm actually suffocating here, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up, and I'm going to try and approach from an angle. We go up here that might allow me to soak a little bit. So you might be thinking, well, maybe you just got the wrong angle. You can see there I did actually manage to soak a little bit, but no, the Basilisk was absolutely destroyed there. Actually that's interesting, because I thought I would get shot off of that, but the angle allowed me to not get shot off of that. What I'm going to do to double check that is I'm going to spawn in. That actually took a lot of damage, by the way, 300 plus damage to take. Bearing in mind this doesn't have a saddle on it, that is still quite a lot of damage. So let me actually spawn in another Basilisk and just see if I was just getting lucky with the angle there, or it really is easy to soak with the Basilisk instead of the player. Well, I can't seem to actually find the spawn code for the Basilisk saddle, but it doesn't really matter too much. All that you know from the saddle being right is it will take less damage than this. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to go underneath the ground. I'm just going to pop up and see if they just shoot me directly off. Yeah, as you can see there. So you can actually sponge the turrets if you get the right angle. Damn, did I actually just destroy all that? I put some things down. Yeah, so you can sponge it with the right angle, but it is a bit risky, not easy to do. All right, put myself down some sleeping bags this time, make this a little bit easier. So next up, the crab. The crab would seem like a very good thing to soak turrets with, and I've actually put the saddle on here to see if we can use the saddle to block the line of sight of the turret. Bear in mind, these are on players only, and I will basically insta-die from these. So let's try backing up. I already know what's going to happen, but you guys are about to find out. Oh, and there you can see. Now, yeah, I have found it super difficult to drain players only turrets with this basilisk, not basilisk, with this crab, or Karkinos as it is named. Seems like near impossible. So although that would seem like the thing from Aberration that would be the ultimate, oh god, as soon as I jump on it's gonna kill me. It would seem to be the ultimate kind of soaker. It is not, although of course you can hold stegos in the claws and try and do it that way. So let's just see if we can get a better angle. Unfortunately you can't walk like sideways. Maybe my claw will save me. Nah, just one shot off of that. So the crab, no good, although of course you can put your bullet soaker in the crab's claws and do it that way. All right, here we go. We've got the rock drake saddle, so let's put that on for the little bit of protection, just in case it makes a difference. Now, I've set this rock drake up similarly to how my rock drake is on my Aberration server, around 15k health. The melee and whatever's different, but really the health is all that matters here. And I've got a similar saddle to what I've got. So let's approach here. Now you can see I've actually got that what is it? The freaking, that's it. The head up kind of signal. So as we approach here, let's do the head up, which is basically to allow it to... Oh, and there we go. As you can see, it will actually block the turrets, even with turrets on players only. I don't really like the way this thing is turning its head. But yeah, you can see there, with an OK saddle, we're taking 121 damage per hit. Obviously, that's just being hit by one of those turrets right now, so... Not really an ideal soaker, but you can use it to soak some turrets, which is really interesting. I wasn't sure if the head would actually block that, but it does, which makes the rock drake extremely useful, especially on Aberration, where a lot of the time you can just go back to one of those crazy plant Z things and that will heal you up. So finally, we've got the Reaper. I can't actually remember why I've got two of these. Let me check. Give to me what the difference is in this one. 17k health. Okay, that was one I was doing some melee testing with. This one is the one that is a lot closer to what you would call a good Reaper King. This has got similar to health to if you tamed one that was around 120 and started pumping health in it. So let's take a look and see. I mean, I already know the answer, but you're gonna see right there, this thing will soak on players only turrets. And not just that, these things have no saddle and it takes 71 damage per hit. So that's actually less damage than the rock drake was taking with a saddle on it. So these have some kind of armor protecting aspect to them. As you can see there, we're down to half health. But yeah, you can actually run right up to these. I think I'm gonna take a death here, I don't know. Let's see if I jump away actually. Yeah, that got me killed because of the angle. Obviously, you have to be careful with your angle. You need the head of it to block it. But that is by far the most interesting thing I found when doing the research. That makes the Reapers super strong. And I'm going to do some melee testing now, which is going to show you another reason why I'm so impressed by Reapers at the moment. And why I think they're going to be a big game changer in the raiding meta. So moving on to our next experiment, we are going to test melee damage. So here I've got a level 1 service Reaper, not a Reaper, just a Reaper King. We've also got a, oh, I've taken off the HUD there. We've got a level 150 Reaper King. We've got a level 1 Rex. We've got a level 150 and then force tamed Rex. It doesn't really matter that they're not the same level, the Reaper King and the Rex, because I'm going to explain that all in a minute. We've got a low level Giga, and then we've got a Giga which is going to be able to compare with something that you might actually have when you've got like a 270 melee Giga, and then you get all the levels in it, get a good imprint, be around 480 melee damage you'll be doing at the top tier of what a Giga does. I've got no saddles on these, but it doesn't matter either way, and we are going to all attack this Bronto. So it's just to give you an idea of the base damage of a Reaper King, so you know how much damage it does. Does it compare with, say, the Giga, which is obviously the king of melee damage? So this is the level 1 melee damage, as just nothing's been put into it whatsoever. So this is going to be the base damage. As you can see there, 131. Nothing too crazy, but decent enough. Now, just to give you a quick comparison, the Rex will go up and give that a bite. 144, so a little bit less from the Reaper King. So the melee damage by default of a Reaper King is comparable to a T-Rex. Now I did want to do this, although you can find that information like online. They did just massively buff the tamed Reapers, so I wanted to check how that was. So just as a general rule, if you don't want to really take in all the information I'm about to give you, Reaper King melee damage roughly the same as a Rex, but a little bit less. Just doing a level 1 Giga, although this isn't really a fair comparison, that is 80 damage, but of course you're never really going to have a level 1 Giga, because that will end up with like 20 melee. As you can see, this thing, no one tames a level 1, they don't even exist. Obviously you get level 5 on official servers. So let's compare what will be a Giga that will be basically as strong as you're going to find on an official server, and on maybe some dedicated, with a Reaper King which we're going to make as basically as strong as we can. Now 300 melee damage, I would say from taming the ones we've been doing recently, with an imprint you can probably get it 350. That's probably the max you're going to get with imprint for a Reaper King. So let's see how much that default attack does. That does 261. So those of you who know anything about Gigas are going to know that the Giga is going to absolutely smash that damage number. So we are at least going to prove that the Giga is still going to be the melee damage king, as you can see there. Absolutely crazy. Any decent Giga will do over 1,000 melee damage, going all the way up to way over 2k, especially if you get the imprint as well. Now, you might listen to that and you might think, Jay, well, I guess Reapers are okay. They're like Rexes, but you can also use them to soak. And I would say, yep, I mean, that's true. But the Reaper King just has so much more to offer. I really think that the Reaper King is now going to be the best raid dino. Almost, I believe that so much, I was almost thinking of not uploading this video and sharing all of that information, just because I know that obviously my enemies are going to benefit from knowing this information. But obviously I'm a YouTuber, I'm based on PvP, especially when it relates to official servers. I wanted to get that information out there. So why is the Reaper so good? Not only obviously do you have that normal attack, you also have the spin attack, which does damage as well. You can see that's doing 167, which isn't bad at all. You'd think like with a spin attack it would do negligible. Let's just get rid of this thing. But it's very, very rarely that you'd get like something that does a kickback but also does a decent amount of damage. I guess we can do it here, and you'll see you can get a good kickback there. Now of course you can combine this with this stun effect. This stun effect does minimal damage. You can see I'm just hitting it there. I think it does about 30 damage. It's either 3 times 9 or 4 times 9. But that means this thing just cannot get close to me, which would give me a chance, as you can see, boom, to get away. Now the Reaper King isn't super slow. As you can see, this is a default speed one. Most people would get a few points into speed, so let's just go a bit more than that, I think, to be fair. Cheat add experience 0. Right, so my ones that I've been doing on official servers, they've been coming out about 120 movement speed, maybe a little bit plus. So let's say we can get that up to like, let's just do 120. So you can see they're not exactly slouches. I mean, they're not as fast as other things in the games, but not bad at all. But if you combine that with, if you can get the jump just right, it's going to allow you to get away from any attack from a Rex, from a Giga, anything like that, super easily, if that's what you want to do. Damn, look how far away we are already just with those 2 jumps. Let's just get back there and show you the other thing. Another question that actually my tribe asked me to test, I tested, I want to give the feedback to you, is can the kickback actually kick back a Giga? You just saw it can kick a Bronto, so let's give this unclaimed Giga a go. And as you can see, it can kick that Giga all the way back there. Now bearing in mind, these things you can get them up to like 40, 50k health, even more. Maybe you'll probably get it around 30 if you want to put some points into other areas. That means if there are Gigas coming at you, you can push them away, obviously, and then you can just stun them with the stun attack. I think that is a really nice combination. Obviously it's more difficult the further you are away, but I think that's a really nice combination, because then you can decide to either lock it in place. Actually, I might be able to just have a little bit of a fight here. If I put, oh, that's not a bad idea. Let's just actually put this on aggressive perhaps, or maybe spawn in a wild Giga to give you a real world example of how this might work. Obviously the wild Gigas are super strong, so this would be a good little test. So what I do, if I put a little, yeah, okay, let's go spawn in a Giga and let's have a little fight with it, see how it does. Alright, so we're going to spawn a wild Giga in again. Gonna run away from it as quick as I can. We're gonna try and start with the spit attack if we can. Oh, it's not come for us now. If we can get its aggro over here. Now this seems to be doing similar damage to what the wild one would have done, or the tame one. Alright, so let's try and get away now. Definitely get away, but how useful is this getaway going to be? I mean, I could escape, obviously, and get up there. Oh no, that would be a tricky position. So now I'm still in a very tricky position. Let's give it a spray. Let's try and tame the push away just right. Okay, let's just get out here. So it's not as easy as it could be, but you could evade a Giga. The problem is you definitely can't take it on in a melee battle. And who knows, maybe this thing might take me on. I don't think I even really want to take it on the melee battle. I'm pretty sure this Reaper is going to lose. And the spin away is actually a little bit more tricky than I presumed. Obviously, if you're playing against a real player, they're going to be a bit smarter than this thing. Let's have a little, see if we can time the push away. If we go up to it. Ooh, no, see. If the terrain isn't in your favour, oh, like there, you see. We're pushing it away. Why is it not aggroing on me? Ooh, there we go. Now, the terrain was in my favour there. But it did still manage to get back. Push it away. Nice big jump. Yeah, so I mean, I guess they can evade, but really, it seems like you don't want to be taking this to a fight with Gigas. Other than the fact that it could be good for raids. If you think about it, if you could actually spit attack people's flyers, this is like a lot like using a Rex against a Giga, apart from it has these extra abilities. But yeah, as you can see there, let's do a spin. You see, if the terrain's not quite right, you are going to be in trouble a little bit, even with the getaway jump. Ooh, you can see there, the getaway jump not super effective. The terrain's not in our favour here. See if we can get a spin as we land. Alright, we've got a spin away for a jump. So yeah, in conclusion, these things are great because they are like Rexes, but they have the extra ability. They have the super amazing jump. Damn, that thing's doing much more damage than even that high level one did. Freaking wild Gigas are absolutely crazy. So yeah, they're kind of like Rexes, but they've also got the ability of a Stego for the bullet soaking. They've also got the ability of a Diplo for the push away, although just straight on taking on Gigas like this, I mean, you can see, you can do it, but you could very easily get caught out. See, that thing's stunned for a second, and if I start to run, that stun ain't gonna really help me because I've got the bleed effect. Does the bleed effect slow you down? That doesn't. No, it's just fighting everything else, so you can see it's rage. But overall, this isn't the Giga Killer by any means, but definitely something you want to be adding to your arsenal as a PvP player, and something I'm going to experiment with a bit more. I think this Wild Giga is actually even a bit more OP. It's doing like 4,000 damage when even that super high level one that I got in wasn't. But also, obviously, you have got this problem. It's nice doing this experiment. You have got this problem. This thing's nearly dead. I mean, this Reaper here, I've put in about as much as I could. Now, actually, like this, the only good thing here is that this spin is doing damage, but at the same time, as you can see, the Giga is getting hits, and against a human rider, it's going to be even more of a problem. So it's going to have to be a combination of getting the spit on, to be honest, which can be tricky, as you can see, if you don't get the terrain just right. More about getting away and using these things from range. I can imagine if you hit like a wyvern with this or something, it would be super annoying. But obviously this does a little bit of damage, but it can still move towards you like this. So a little bit of research there for you guys. Hope you found it interesting. I know that I'm definitely going to be making a bigger effort to raise these Reaper Kings than I was before. Before I thought they were okay, but now I know they've got that extra bullet soaking ability. I will definitely be trying to get some nice ones of these. I mean, it's basically a Rex that can soak bullets and push people away and do spit attacks. Very, very cool indeed. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to smash that like button, guys, and I'll see you all in the next episode.